So how was the day one of Pokémon Champions? The most hyped game, especially for VGC players. Okay, let's start from the good parts, okay? Because when talking about the bad parts, we're gonna have to talk a lot. The good parts, of course, it's exactly what most VGC players wanted from a game like this. Of course, it's not like Pokemon Showdown, of course. Nobody expected something nowhere near Pokemon Showdown. Everybody expected some sort of gameplay loop to train your Pokemon. But overall, we got a decent system. Surely is more accurate than the previous games. Despite the efforts that the previous games made to make training more easy, let's just say that Pokemon Champions understood the assignment on how to give people competitive Pokemon, which is good. Okay, it's good. The balance patches that we are promised. Pokemon Champions promises patch updates, meaning that if a Pokemon is too powerful, or if a Pokemon doesn't quite, doesn't quite cut it, they may end up buffing or nerfing certain Pokemon. Some nerfs, some very powerful nerfs, already happened. Most famously, Incineroar lost access to knockoff. Now, granted, it's Incineroar, losing knockoff is not going to be a big deal. However, other Pokemon, such as Duraludon, or better Archaludon, lost access to Body Press, one of the most powerful tools this Pokemon had in its moveset. And like that, so many other Pokemon got nerfed. Kangaskhan lost again access to Power Up Punch. Kangaskhan lost Power Up Punch coming into Ultra Sun and Moon, then regained Power Up Punch, then lost it again in Pokemon Champions, which is a good thing, okay? Power Up Punch is a way too powerful of a move to have on a Pokemon that attacks twice, okay? So it's good that a Pokemon like Mega Kangaskhan did not get access to Power Up Punch again. Probably was just something for Pokemon Legends EA, which, okay, sure, whatever. However, they're not everything is sparkles and rainbows, because there's some Pokemon that got scammed for no reason. Mega Meowstic, for example, as it Mega Evolves, gains the ability Trace, which is completely useless as an ability, especially in doubles, since the ability that is going to copy is completely random between the two opponents. At that point, you are way better off playing as Ditto, which, guess what, it's what people are probably already doing, so there is hope about Meowstic, probably, hopefully in the future getting a better ability over Trace. So yeah, even Mega Ember got Mold Breaker, which personally I don't think it's a bad ability, but compared to many others, it is a bit underwhelming as an ability. Speaking of abilities, this is something many people think it's bad. I think it's pretty good. The abilities overall of the new introduced Mega Evolutions. Now, not all new Mega Evolutions introduced in Legends EA and DLC got instantly introduced in Pokemon Champions. However, they already released some of these new Mega Evolutions, and a lot of people say that the majority of those are terrible. I disagree heavily, mostly because the most known disappointing Mega Evolutions that got used as an examples are Mega Drampa, Mega Skarmory, Mega Chandelure, and Mega Alucha. Many people say that Berserk, which is Mega Drampa's ability, is terrible. Stalwart, which is Mega Skarmory's ability, is terrible. Many say that Infiltrator is a bad ability. Many say no guard is a bad ability. I don't know what kind of VGC these guys played. Probably I played a different version of VGC, but Berserk has always been a good ability, okay? Moltres Galar always had lots of success in and out of Dynamax with the ability Berserk, both by having a citrus berry or not having a citrus berry. So Mega the Rampa not having a berry too old is not actually a problem. Plus we live in a world where Sinistra is a Pokemon with the ability Hospitality to heal, in switching Mega the Rampa and Life Dew to keep it safe and healthy in order to trigger Berserk multiple times. Like, you're probably seeing a couple of replays from me personally testing on Showdown. Mega the Rampa with the correct team and correct support it's an astounding, powerful trick room sweeper. So I don't understand what people are on with this. Same thing for Skarmory. Skarmory's ability is the ability to ignore, respectively, Rage Powder, Follow Me, and in case your opponent switches out a Pokemon in the rightmost slot, and in the same turn that Pokemon comes back in the leftmost slot, and Skarmory still has to attack, will still follow the same Pokemon. It's a very powerful ability, especially since within these decks there's plenty of powerful redirectors. We have Mausol, we have the aforementioned Sinistra, we have many Pokemon that can learn Follow Me or similar moves. Having a Pokemon like that, in a world where Mega Floette is legal and has Fairy Aura and can set up with Calm Mind, it's an incredibly strong ability, especially because it's a Steel type that ignores the redirecting support for Floette teams. It's an incredibly strong ability, and I don't understand why people are failing to catch this. Everybody's talking about how broken Mega Floette is, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But we have the counterplay right there. But I guess Star Wars, ignoring one of the most powerful supporting move in the game as Follow Me, apparently is bad. Now, I don't understand. I probably played the wrong version of VGC. I don't know, but in my world, ignoring Follow Me is incredibly powerful. It's the reason why Duraludon back in the day was one of the strongest Pokemon. Oh, whatever. That said, Infiltrator is a good ability. The problem is, again, Mega Gengar exists. And no guard, Mega Lucha. Again, I don't know what kind of version of VGC these people played, but not missing Rock Slide or Stone Edge in a Mega Charizard Wise world is incredibly good, and it just so happens that Mega Lucha learns both of these moves and is also faster than Mega Charizard Y. Also, not missing Flying Press, not missing High Jump Kick, not missing Cross Chop, not missing I don't know what other moves this Pokemon can have, but you can understand that this Pokemon has many options that you'd like them to hit permanently. Yes, I Jump Kick, if it is protected, it's going to demolish your Hawlucha. But again, you have Flying Press, which is the peculiar move for Hawlucha. You have both a Flying type and a Fighting type move in one move. You have all the coverage, the stab coverage you need, so that you can free the rest of your slots easier, and you are never going to miss with that move. What? Like, how many times a final got decided by the fact that please let this move hand the rock? How many times? Many times. So I don't understand why people are thinking that not missing moves now is bad for a Pokemon that is fast and strong and is only stopped by Intimidate and Burning, which you can absolutely fix as an issue with a correct team building. However, Mega Evolution has other problems that we're going to talk about in a minute. So, I genuinely don't understand the issues people have with certain things. Overall, the gameplay loop is also, as I'm understanding, as I'm seeing, very free-to-play friendly. So much so that there's people starting entire new accounts without ever transferring any Pokemon. And the Megastones that are in the Battle Pass, like the Emboarite and the Feraligerite, are completely free-to-play obtainable even outside the Premium Battle Pass. So you don't really have a reason to not like the free-to-play monetization of this game. Like, it seems that the wide majority of important things you have in this game are obtained simply by playing the game, which is okay. Like, it could have been much worse. Megastones could be only behind the Premium Battle Pass, but it's not the case, so it was one of my biggest fears. The only problem is that the Kalos starters and the Mega Floette are locked behind having beaten Pokemon Legendary. That is a very bad thing, because, and now we're going to start talking about the issues I have with Pokemon Champions, is that these 4 Pokemon got locked behind a paywall. Now, Mega Greninja, not a big loss. Mega Chestnut, okay, we are already starting to feel the issue. Mega Delphox, okay, this is getting serious. Mega Fluet, okay, now we're getting angry, okay? And I'm sorry, you are not getting away just because you're called Pokemon. At the end of the day, I'm a video game journalist, okay? So I will review the game factually. Doesn't matter what you're called. And as much as it pains me, I always want video games to succeed. But when there's criticism to do, we gotta give criticism. And the best moment is now, that is the release window, okay? It's a live service game. It's bound to have problems or oversights on the first day or so. However, we still need to report this, because games should be judged as they are launched at the launch, okay? So, Mega Floette, as I said, being locked behind Pokemon Legends EA is a big problem. First and foremost, because Mega Floette is so obviously broken. First, when I watched the abilities for the Mega Evolutions in my previous video, I was unsure whether or not Mega Floette was going to be legal in VGC. Okay, because the Floette Eternal never actually released, and it was supposed to be some sort of event. Okay, and usually event Pokemon are never released, so I thought that the same fate was going to happen for Mega Floette Eternal. Apparently, I was wrong. Mega Floette does not. Mega Floette is completely legal in VGC and is incredibly powerful. Who would have guessed that a Pokemon with Fairy Aura, a free 30% damage boost to all your stabs, is going to be strong? And people are already starting to run Mega Floette teams. Follow Me, Calm Mind, and then you spam Dazzling Beam, Draining Case, Moonblast. Not Light of Ruin, because you cut your HP and it's not very good, because you want Mega Floette to stay as much as possible on the field. But Moonblast, it's enough, Dazzling Gleam is enough. If we learned anything from Xerneas, a Pokemon with Fairy Aura setting up doesn't need much coverage. Okay, you only need basically Moonblast and Dazzling Gleam, but it just so happens that Floette does have the opportunity to have some coverage, but still, regardless, having a mini Xerneas running around in the meta is not... it's not exactly what you wanna see, and this is the first issue. Mega Floette, I think, was not supposed... Well, shouldn't have been released now. Mega Float should have been released when the power level was going to rise a bit more. So when Pokemon like Heatran, Landorus, Urshifu, Rillaboom, you know, the legendaries that are not cover art legendaries were going to be released, because the power level would have risen a bit and you will find some counterplay, just like the aforementioned Heatran. Aside from that, the dex is too limited for a Pokemon with that potential. Usually a limited dex is not really an issue, mostly because you still have some creative choices, but the scope of what's playable and what's not is much smaller. So overall, yes, it's creative, but you always know what to check within the meta, okay? The problem is Mega Float is, especially this Float, is basically a legendary Pokemon in a land of mortals. It's not balanced in any way, shape, or form. They needed to wait at least 2 to 3 regulations to allow Mega Float to run free. That Pokemon is straight up broken. It's very powerful. Now, I did mention that Mega Skarmory can be the solution to all of our problems, but people are not listening. But we can't always run only Mega Skarmory, because then people are going to adapt very easily, okay? Like, Mega Skarmory is just one Pokemon that has to deal with another Pokemon with a full party to back it up. It's kinda like the Xerneas theorem. You can find the powerful Steel type ready to counter Xerneas. You have the rest of the Big Six ready to support despite your super effectiveness and overall positive matchup. Okay, so it's not much you have to deal with Mega Float, you have to deal with Mega Float's team. With a Mega Float team, if I should say better. That's the main issue with Mega Float. So I think Mega Float should have released later. At least 2 to 3 regulations later. Perhaps even post this year Worlds. Okay? This year Worlds should have had only non-legendary Pokemon. Yes, a restricted Pokédex, okay, I'm fine, even though it has no Mawile. There's Sableye, there's no Mawile. I don't know why, but Mega Float should not have been legal from the get-go. It's too powerful, and most importantly, there's no way to obtain Mega Float outside of beating and having Pokemon Legendary, which is exactly what the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, and the LSCA should not have done. Locking up Pokemon, a powerful Pokemon, behind having another game. Okay, everything should have been obtainable within Pokemon Champions to ensure a better experience. Talking about experience, let's talk about how the game plays actually. Now, the game overall, for the most part, most doing the heavy lifting there, runs okay-ish. There is a couple of optimization problems, but nothing too crazy. Sometimes the game stutters, sometimes there's a bit of lag. Nothing too crazy. That's stuff that can be solved very easily. It's just launch problem, compatibility issues, because this Pokemon game is also supposed to be releasing in a mobile scenario. So I understand that from Switch 2 to a mobile phone is kinda the jump, but it's still an issue and we need to report it as an issue. Okay, no matter the situation, it's still an issue. But let's talk about the real deal here. I've been starting to see very game-breaking glitches within Pokemon Champions that are not okay. One of the clips I saw was a parental bond glitch. Parental bond, for those of you that don't know, is Mega Kangaskhan's ability that allows the Pokemon to attack twice. The second attack having less power because he's the little Kangaskhan kid. using Drain Punch on an opposing Pokemon. For some reason, the Drain Punch effect got applied to the partner of the targeted Pokemon, healing it. What? Another glitch that happened is this Blastoise used Water Spout on a Milotic, reducing this Milotic to like 1% of HP. I don't remember, the clip is probably playing right now on the screen. The next turn that Milotic is at 92 HP. No wish was used because no animation played, no writing appeared, nothing appeared, unless this video got spliced for some reason. No animation appeared, but even then, wish doesn't heal for 92, for 91% of the HP. And you could also, if you don't believe it, you could also count the power points of the moves on the Blastoise, but I don't think there's any regularity here. This is an issue that Milotic got healed back 92%, and of course we don't have further context on how that happened, but you do understand that these are game-breaking bugs, and since Pokémon Champion is supposed to host tournaments, okay, supposed to host all the official tournaments from now on, this is an issue. This is a very bad issue. I don't understand how it's possible to leave out, like, I doubt there's no beta tests that have been run, but and I also understand one counterpoint could be that in a big release, like this release was massive, guys. People even outside the VGC are playing Pokemon Champions out of curiosity. So I understand that even outside the VGC community, this release is massive. And game-breaking glitches, even glitches that are like a 0.0 chance to happen, may happen. But this game is supposed to host tournaments, official tournaments. These things may cause two things. First of all, a guy may lose up finals. Okay, imagine World Championship. That Milotic is now at 92% HP. You needed that Milotic to be in range of a very low power priority move, even just a fake out. And just no, okay, you got said no, causing you to lose the finals because that Milotic got miraculously back at 90% HP. And two, it may give people the excuse to call the other person a cheater, causing unnecessary drama and possibly unfair bans or punishments for innocent players, all for the fault of a game. Now, you may say, people know by now that these glitches are happening, so that will be a serious argument. Yes, but someone that really wants to win no matter what is going to still report this as cheating, still creating unnecessary drama, ruining the experience for the opponent, people watching at home, and everybody else involved. So it's stuff that needs to be solved as soon as possible. And there's another issue, which is pretty funny, but not really. Mega Lucha learns entrainment. For those of you that don't know, entrainment gives your ability, your meaning you the Pokemon using entrainment, to your partner. Mega Lucha, being this fast, is able to give entrainment to a partner with Sheer Gold, Guillotine, or even Fissure, making one-hit KO moves hit all the time. Now, as much as it is funny, the first 5 minutes, okay, it's very funny, you have this Pokemon, haha, guillotine, guillotine, guillotine. can also be an issue, because this strategy risks to hit tournaments, and people may win with this. And it's a strategy that can somewhat ruin the entire metagame. Now, of course, better players, okay, players that have the open team list, players that know what they're doing, are going to be able to easily counter this strategy, because as solid as it is now with Mega Lucha, it's still a gimmicky strategy. Okay, it's still a strategy that in best of one may cause a bit of fun, a bit of a rage quit. In closed team list can be annoying, but best of 3 open team list against the best players of the world is not going to be so easy. Granted, in a tournament, it's also going to be in the hands of said best players in the world. So it's not going to be as easy to stop it, just like it's not going to be as easy to use it. But still, it's a balancing problem, a very difficult, a very bad balancing problem, because yeah, that's not a thing that's supposed to happen in general. It's funny though that Aulusha just unleashed, has the ability now to activate the Snow Grave route. If you know, you know. It's funny, yes, but yeah, I don't wanna see that thing in tournaments. So the best thing is for Aulusha to never learn entrainment anymore. Why does Aulusha even have entrainment to begin with? Like, what the? Why would you give entrainment to Aulusha? Like, outside of Nogard, why would you give entrainment to Aulusha in general? I don't know. I don't know what entrainment has to do with Aulusha, but I digress. So yeah, that is a big problem, which kinda sucks, because I really like Mega Lucha's design from a battle perspective, of course. Again, having the ability to never miss Flying Press, to never miss Stone Edge in a Mega Charizard Y World, same thing for Rockslide, I think is a huge, huge, huge deal. Plus it has 2 slots free, so one can be Protect, one can be a setup move or something. Regardless, it has to lose entrainment, because a gimmick like this was always supposed to be a clunky gimmick. Now you can just straight up lead Mega Lucha and any other Pokemon that can be made extremely bulky, because you don't need attack with 1-hit KO moves, and just win the match from there. Mega Lucha also has access to Tailwind. Also, Aulusha can still attack despite the entrainment, so it's still going to be a lot of damage. So yeah, needs to lose entrainment for balancing purposes only. So yeah, and now another bad thing is the fact that the obtaining of Pokemon resulted to be a bit more annoying than we previously predicted. The whole gacha system is not very fun. Like, you risk that you may need something like Incineroar, you get Pansear, or better, Simisear, because there's no baby Pokemon, so I guess Eviolite just disappeared from everything. So yeah. Now, the cons, unfortunately, are outweighing a lot the pros, because as I said, the pros are something that were kinda granted, or the pros were something that I'm seeing only me personally, because people are complaining about some of those pros as well. I don't think those are cons, but yeah, overall, Pokemon Champions is array of hope for VGC, for making more people enjoy VGC, but after the big failure of not releasing both on Switch 2 and mobile, which was supposed to happen, I think, from day one. I don't know why they scrapped it. But yeah, the training of the Pokemon is very fun. It's very well made. Most of the things you obtain by just playing the game, but playing the game itself may be somewhat of an issue. Between glitches, game breaking and game losing glitches, the way you actually obtain the Pokemon is either you already had previous Pokemon games, so you did spend 60, 70 of your currency, and some stuff being locked forcefully behind it. Game breaking glitches, as I mentioned. It's overall not very. It's not very amusing to have this as the release day of the app of the game that was supposed to revolutionize and bring glory to the VGC once and for all in the history of Pokemon. It's not very amusing. It was just the day one, so we can hope for the best from now on. As the game got released, they are going to work and fix all of the issues. They promised they will pay attention to the community feedback. I hope it's true. I hope they move. I hope they move fast, because again, this needs to work, or it will plummet the VGC success that has acquired in the last 6 years out of nowhere. So yeah. Unfortunately, this day one wasn't as promising as we wanted, and wasn't as appealing as we wanted. Yeah, they need to change. It's better they change now that is the first 48 hours of release at the time of the recording, than when it's too late. Okay, they need to do these changes right now. And it has to work right now, and also not wait too long on the mobile release, because otherwise people that cannot afford the Switch 2 are going to lose interest, and they're going to lose players. Okay, so yeah, that's all I had to say. Let's hope for the best. Let me know in the comments what you think, and see you next time.